My hair was a big part of my identity. Growing up as a kid, everyone told me about how thick and beautiful my hair was, and so I lost over half of my hair, and that was quite devastating for me. Especially as a woman, I feel like my identity was around my hair and my physical features, and so the fact that that had been taken from me and I didn't know why, and I didn't know how to fix it, no hair products helped me. It made me feel quite helpless. So symptoms that first led me to discover that I had PCOS were extreme hair loss, chronic fatigue, anxiety, and panic attacks for what seemed like no apparent reason, as well as very shortened menstrual cycles and some food intolerances and sensitivities that weren't very consistent and came and went without any rhyme or reason. So I worked with a variety of healthcare professionals. So firstly, I worked with medical doctors like my family doctor and a hormonal specialist. Their solutions were to put me on hormonal birth control, which really did help with symptoms, but for me personally, I just didn't feel like that was the right solution for me, and I really wanted to get to the root cause. So I started working with a variety of different naturopaths. Through them, we did a bunch of tests on my hormones, my gut health, my gut microbiome, and we really worked to find out what was causing these symptoms. Some of the things we found out were that I had an imbalance in my gut microbiome, I had insulin resistance, and my stress hormones were through the roof. Through one of the naturopaths, I started working with a holistic nutritionist, and she helped me address some issues with my digestion. So addressing my digestion helped all of the recommendations from the naturopath actually do their job. I was able to process my vitamins and minerals, I was able to process my food better, and I immediately started seeing differences from that. I also worked with a mental performance coach for my athletic endeavors, and she's really helped me be able to manage my stress from that and just having a very busy, goal-oriented life, and how I can decompress and not let that stress become chronic. So PCOS has had an impact on my emotional well-being and my mental health. As mentioned before, I experienced a lot of anxiety. I felt like I was stuck in a fight or flight state all the time. I was having these panic attacks that would come on for no apparent reason. And it was quite stressful and concerning for me at the time because I would just be driving home from work and I felt like I was about to have a panic attack, and it was just very strange. And I felt very silly, and I didn't feel like my feelings of anxiety or panic were valid at those point in times, when actually my body was really trying to tell me something, that we were just stuck in a stressful state, and I needed to create space for myself and time to let myself decompress during my stressful day-to-day life. PCOS has also impacted my feelings of femininity. As I mentioned before, I experienced a lot of hair loss. My hair was a big part of my identity. Growing up as a kid, everyone told me about how thick and beautiful my hair was, and so I lost over half of my hair, and that was quite devastating for me. Especially as a woman, I feel like my identity was around my hair and my physical features, and so the fact that that had been taken from me and I didn't know why, and I didn't know how to fix it, no hair products helped me, it made me feel quite helpless. So some lifestyle habits that I've adopted into my daily routine to help with PCOS have been my diet. So working with the nutritionist, it was recommended for me and with the insulin resistance to have a whole foods diet. I eat mostly low glycemic foods, so I eat mostly like whole grains like brown rice and quinoa, as well as whole fruits and vegetables and lean proteins. I also supplement a lot of vitamins and minerals, as mentioned before, just to make sure that my body is receiving like adequate nutrients all the time due to the high demands that it faces in my stressful life. I've also started creating space for myself. I've been more kind to myself. I'm allowing myself to have time to decompress instead of thinking that I have to constantly work to be a high-achieving woman. I've realized that taking that time for myself is a part of being a high-achieving woman, or else you can face burnout and chronic stress, which is what I have been facing. Knowing what I know now about my body and about PCOS and the symptoms that I was experiencing, if I could go back in time and tell my younger self something, I would tell myself that resting and giving myself the opportunity to heal and recover and nourish my body would do more for me than stressing and researching and trying to problem solve every single little flaw that I thought that I had. I would tell myself that the body and the mind are capable of so much. We're capable of healing so much if we just give ourselves the right nutrients and if we allow ourselves to rest. I would also tell myself that you're capable of being a high-achieving, goal-oriented, successful woman while giving yourself time and space to rest and recover. Not everything has to be 110% of the time. And I would tell myself that it's all going to work out and it's all going to be okay. And at the end of the day, this is a lesson on how to better care for your body. And at the end of the day, you'll be grateful for everything that you've experienced.